Alrighty then guys, welcome to another GTA Online video. In this video we've got the Carbonizzare and we are throwing it against Jester to see which is the better of the two, because we already know, if you play a lot of GTA Online and do races, that these two cars are the top of the sports class. If you think of using anything else, you're probably not going to win. So which is the better of these two? I am always finding myself struggling to decide at the last second of that timer and getting stuck with one and wondering what the other one would have been like. So I wanted to throw them together and see which is the better of the two. So let's do that right now. Back at Sandy Shores Airfield. See which is the better of these two cars in the category of speed. Speed is kind of important when you're talking cars, bikes, trains, cars, pretty much anything really. So which is the quickest of these two? We're about to find out as they close in right towards the end, and I think it's clear that the Carbonizzare just got the slight advantage right there. Now, I'm really confused by this. I know it's in no way accurate and the launch may be slightly off and that sort of thing, but my only solid guess as to what's going on with that difference is the fact that the Carbonizzare actually has slightly better acceleration stock than the Jester does. When they're upgraded, the bars go all the way, but maybe it keeps the characteristics of being better slightly if it's better stock than it is upgraded. I don't know. It might have just been the launch. I might have been slightly off. It might have been the fact that the Jester is four-wheel drive and it handles it weirdly compared to the rear-wheel drive of the Carbonizzare. I don't know, but they are ridiculously close. They were literally like a couple of frames behind, literally. So it's not a huge difference. The big player here is actually the performance in the handling of these two cars. So we're going to test that next, because the handling is extremely different between these two cars. Which of the two cars handles better? I will tell you right now. The Jester is much more planted to the road and the Carbonizzare is very tail happy, which is an advantage and disadvantage. Now, disadvantage because you're going to lose control quite often if somebody taps you, if you tap a corner, if you tap something, you're going to lose control. But at the same time, it can be used to your advantage if you will not get those things distracting you, like traffic and AI and players, anything. Basically, you can get a better angle into the corners and out of the corners than you can in the Jester because of the rear-wheel drive compared to the Jester's four-wheel drive. You will literally align which direction you need to go after the corner, accelerate, and you'll go that way. Whereas the Jester is a little bit different. The Jester is literally the complete opposite of what the Carbonizzare is. The Jester is planted to the road. It won't slide like the Carbonizzare does. It doesn't wheel spin like the Carbonizzare does. It will be planted. Now, this can be negative and positive because in the corners it grips like no other car in GTA Online at all, but that can be a disadvantage at the same time because the turning circle isn't fantastic, meaning that you're really going to have to get the corners spot on, the angle that you go in the corners and so on spot on, otherwise you're going to lose a lot of speed like I just did then. So the cars kind of very much differ from each other, but I'll explain all that in the conclusion. Now, it would really be difficult for me to say a winner between these two cars and say that's it, there's nothing more about it. But what I'm going to say is, if you are looking for a car between these two and you've got money for one and you have no idea of what I've just gone on about, pick the Jester. That is probably your best option. Because of the way it grips to the road, it's very controllable. You know what you're doing with the car. But if you're more of an experienced person and you want to push the limit but you're really okay with being able to fail every now and again, I would say go with the Carbonizzare. They're both great options. If you can have both like I do, then have both. But what I would recommend is to me, for who I am, I like to be able to push cars even further, even if it means I'm going to fail sometimes. So I'd go Carbonizzare. And for someone that really wants to be secure with their winnings, like be positive that they're most of the time going to win, I would say go with the Jester. But keep in mind, if you see a Carbonizzare behind you, worry, because they may just catch up to you. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Sorry that we didn't really get to a final conclusion between these two cars, because it would really be impossible to say, because they're both ridiculously well matched with top speed, acceleration, and the handling side, one is better than the other in some aspects. So let's literally just leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us. This has been BlackPanthaa. I will see you in the next video. Peace.
This is insane.